back to the 32nd episode of the BatChums podcast. I'm Drew Leiter, and joining me tonight is my co-host, the man, the myth, the new legend, Mike Gordon.
Howdy.
Welcome back, BatChum.
Glad to be back. And yes, we are, we are just churning through these. It's hard to believe that we are very close to ending the season. This is, I think we've only got a couple of episodes after this one, but yeah, this is pretty amazing. It's the Riddler's last appearance of the season. And from what I understand, it's also Frank Gorswin's last appearance until season 3.
Oh, wow.
So I think that there is a one appearance by the Riddler in season 2, but he is played by somebody else. But it's pretty incredible. The Riddler has been in 8 episodes this season, so 4 stories. And that is more than anybody else. All the others get like the Joker and the Penguin are in 3. We've only seen, I think, 2 of the Penguin ones. And the Joker's in 3. Everybody else has just been in 1. So one story, I should say, 2 episodes. But yeah, so the Riddler was by far, I mean, he got the jump on everybody because he was in the first one. Yeah, we're almost ending the season with him as well, with this story, as we mentioned before, which was originally written in the comics as a Joker story.
All right, so this is season 1, episode 32, The Riddler's False Notion. Episode aired Thursday, April 28th, 1966, directed by Charles R. Rondeau and written by Richard Carr.
And as we mentioned, the original story that this is based on, the Joker's Comedy Capers, was in Detective Comics 341, and that was from 1965. It was, the writer for that was John Broome, the penciler Carmine Infantino, Joe Gaella as the inker on that. And forgive us for butchering any names. We certainly mean no disrespect. But yeah, so the original story is and I'll get into maybe some of the differences besides the bad guy being different as we go on. But yeah, so this is I think one of the last ones that's based on a comic for a while too. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward. But my understanding is that for season 2 and season 3, not a lot of the stories are actually based or adapted from actual comics. But we'll see as we go forward.
So last episode, after getting shot at, Batman tried contacting Robin, but the boy wonder was not answering. And that's because the Riddler had captured him. So back at Riddler's hideout, Robin is put on a conveyor belt with a table saw. And Riddler plans on filming Robin getting cut in half.
Yeah, the lengthwise, like height-wise, not
yes.
like not width-wise, like lengthwise, like, which is like, that's just, that is there. We have mentioned it before. There's some disturbing things that happen on this show, or could happen, the ideas of disturbing things, and that is right up there. I mean, it's just so gruesome. And to have Frank Gorswin, sorry, sort of, and like at the end of the saw, looking down
yes.
the saw, like laughing gleefully. It just, I mean, it really, it's nightmare fuel. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't have nightmares from it, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, before we can go any farther, we have to consult Magic Batman. All right. So, Magic Batman, will Robin be sawed in two? Let's see what he says. Magic Batman says, signs point to yes. Poor Robin. He's going to be beside himself.
Nice. I see what you did there. Well, as you'll reveal in a little bit, he's not he's not completely wrong.
All right, let's dive into this. Batman, not being able to contact Robin, leaves Mr. Van Jones' party and returns to the Batmobile to find Robin's utility belt radio sitting in the driver's seat. Batman is about to leave when Commissioner Gordon rushes out of the mansion shouting for Batman. Commissioner Gordon apologizes for his behavior. Suddenly, a firecracker shoots out of the middle pipe of the Batmobile into the air. It explodes and a Riddler It explodes and a Riddle comes parachuting down. All right, I want to stop right there because I got a question for you. So, hang on, let me make sure. Let me expand this out a little bit so I can make sure I got the Batmobile showing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can see the Batmobile, right?
Right.
What are these? Are these like exhausts right here?
Sure.
That
Sure.
okay. Because I was
No, no,
like,
no, no. They are bat atomic exhausts. It's
Bat Atomics exhaust. Okay. I didn't know what the heck to call them, and I was trying to Google it, but I couldn't find it. It kept showing the
oh,
thing on the
right.
back of the Batmobile
Sure,
back
sure,
here.
sure. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember what that was called either, but that main fire exhaust. But so this is the atomic exhaust or whatever. But anyways,
Sure.
that's where it shot out of, was that middle one, and I was like, I don't know what to call that thing. Here's the riddle. When is a bear like a fallen tree? Answer: a bear lumbers and a fallen tree becomes lumber. A second riddle shoots out from the Batmobile. Why is silk like grass? Answer: you measure both like a yard. The Gotham lumber yard. Batman believes that is where Riddler is holding Robin.
Can I just say also here that during this sequence, Batman answers these riddles so fast, it leads me to believe that he just lets Robin answer them. Because if Robin's around, Robin seems to be the one to answer the riddles most of the time, right?
Right.
And Batman's just like, "Good job, old chum," and then they go on. But it's clear here that Batman doesn't need Robin to answer riddles. He doesn't take near as long a time to answer them as Robin usually does. He's like right on it. Now, granted, time is of an essence here because he doesn't know where his ward is, but still I have to like commend them for how fast he was able to get those riddles. And we'll see it later on too when he's encounters a couple of more riddles and he answers those pretty quickly.
Must be because he's letting Robin have learning moments.
Absolutely. That's exactly what he's doing. Yes.
The Gotham lumber yard. Batman believes that is where the Riddler is holding Robin. Batman arrives at the Gotham lumber yard to find Riddler dressed in a top hat with a cape and whip. Batman pulls out his batarang, but Riddler whips it out of his hand. I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Mm-hmm. That was very cool. Yes.
Riddler asks Batman, when is a man Riddler asks Batman, when is a man a stupid relative? Riddler then points at the table saw. Batman rushes over to save Robin before he is cut in two. Batman discovers that Robin is a fake. When is a man like a stupid relative? When he is a mannequin. The real Robin is still missing.
And he's a
Now I
dummy.
gotta,
I mean,
I gotta.
it's supposed to be dummy, right? Like it mannequin is not I mean, mannequin doesn't make as much sense to me as dummy does there, but also we see the blade, I think we see the blade go into Robin's head.
We do. That's what I was getting ready to point out. Now, before when they show, because I left this out of my recap, but they actually show at the beginning Robin going towards the saw blade, and I'm like, when I saw that scene, I was like, Batman's not even close to being there. How is he gonna? He's getting awful close to that table saw. How's Batman gonna get there in time? And then when Batman was actually there, and I'm like, that looks like that blade is hitting his head. I was like, what are they doing? And then it ended up being a dummy. I was not expecting it to be a dummy. They pulled a fast one on me on that one.
Yeah, yeah. Riddler had no intention of actually cutting Robin in two. And I think it was just because, we talked about it last week. That's going to be really messy.
Yeah.
Lot of cleanup. You don't want to have to do that, I mean, he has bigger plans for getting rid of the Boy Wonder that don't involve a big old mess. At least not that he would get messed
Yeah.
up.
Not that he'd have to clean up.
Exactly.
We don't want to, we don't have to clean up the hideout.
Exactly. Exactly.
When Batman turns around, Riddler is gone. Pauline trips over a bucket and Batman is able to capture her. Back at police headquarters,
I want to put a
Pauline
pin
is
in that for a second too,
sure.
because Batman, when he goes to, when he goes after her, he says, "Stop, surrender, give yourself up, or by all that's holy, I might forget myself and do you violence." I mean, that's pretty strong words coming from Adam West Batman.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we don't see him get that, like, I mean, he's actually saying like and we see it happen like in a little bit too, where he knows that he's not thinking rationally because Robin's life is on the line, which
Hmm.
I think Adam West is doing an incredible job selling it. I mean, that line really stuck out with me when he was, I might forget myself and do you violence. Like he's like, I will, I will beat you. Like you, like surrender now, or I can't hold myself accountable. Like I don't know what I'll do. And that's uh that's pretty jarring. We haven't seen I don't think we've seen Batman on the edge like this, quite like
I don't.
this
Yeah, I don't
before.
think we have. And Pauline did a good job of selling it because her face when he said that, she was like surprised.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah. But I think we know that she was meant to be left behind, right?"
Yep. Back at police headquarters, Pauline is questioned. She does not cooperate. Batman gives her bat gas against her will and takes her to the Bat Cave. Commissioner Gordon tags along too as a witness and takes the bat gas willingly.
There's there's so much here that I mean, we just saw it happen with the bookworm, right?
Hmm.
Where
Yep.
Batman and Robin took a woman against her will, drugged her, and brought her back to the Batcave. Now, I just thought in this one, I thought it was just a threat. Like I thought he was going to be like, Batman was saying, we're gonna have to take you to the Batcave if you don't cooperate. And I thought she was going to right away just sort of say, well, I don't want to do that. So I will. And she's supposed to give him the clues. She's supposed to give him the riddles, so I don't understand why she's not doing that. And let's set all aside like Miranda rights and how wrong this is
Yeah.
as far as officers of the law being able to participate in this kind of behavior, let alone men behaving in this kind of behavior towards women. I mean, there's just a lot here
Yeah.
but if we set all that aside, it's just really awesome to see Commissioner Gordon go to the Batcave for the first time. Like he
Yeah.
seems like, what, me? Go to I mean, he's so excited and he's like, I would love to be Batgas. Please Batgas me. He's like, he even brings out a little, his little tissue and be like, spray it here and like okay. And Neil Hamilton is so good here. We don't usually get to see him do this much. He came running out after the party and had interacted with Batman, and now he's going to the Batcave and interacting with Batman, and we don't really see them work together very often. It's usually just in the office and uh Gordon gives some exposition and Batman goes on his way and does stuff where seems like Gordon's actually participating here, which I really like. And I don't know why I forgot, like if I know I've seen this one before, but for some reason this seemed totally new to me when I was watching this. And I was like, how could I have forgotten all of this because it's really, really good stuff. When you see Commissioner Gordon walking around the Batcave for the first time and he's just like, I feel like I'm in the future. Like it just was pretty amazing. So, and it's a lot of fun, despite the fact that, what they're doing is completely wrong.
Right. And I don't remember Commissioner Gordon ever going to the Batcave, so I thought this was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he was like a kid in the candy store.
He really was. I mean, he's just like, wow. Like he's like those kids in Willy Wonka, right?
At the Batcave, Batman doesn't give Pauline any drugs, but puts a bat mask on her that resembles an operating room oxygen mask. Pauline claims she doesn't know where Robin is being kept, but gives Batman two riddles. Why was Flo, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Why was Flo Ziegelfeld like a nearsighted man? Answer, they put both on because they both put on spectacles. What kind of men are always above board? Chessmen. Pauline takes or Pauline. Batman takes Pauline's captured breath and mingles it with a clear liquid in a beaker. It turns red, indicating that Pauline is telling the truth. I'm going to stop here because I thought this was weird because they have a lie detector machine that we saw him use a couple episodes ago, and
Yeah,
here he is doing it totally different.
the last time they strapped a girl down and they had like, sensors all over her and could detect whether or not she was lying. I guess, technology is improved since then. I guess he came up with a better idea. Like, you know what? That's a lot of hassle. Although these are still things that you could have in your like now with especially with the gas and the liquid, you could have that in your utility belt. You don't need to go to the Batcave for this. You could just spray her with that like in the police station and then, test it. Like it seems kind of just an excuse to go to the Batcave. It's a fun excuse to have Commissioner Gordon in the Batcave. I will admit that. So I don't mind it that much, but yeah, it's clunky. It's very clunky.
Yep. Batman determines from the clues that Robin is being held at the Chessman building. Batman drops Commissioner Gordon and Pauline off on the side of the road for Chief O'Hara to pick up, which I thought was freaking hilarious. Commissioner Gordon's fine with this too. I'm just going to drop you off in the middle of the road. I'm going
Yeah.
to leave the bat gas.
Both of you are unconscious. I'm going to leave you unconscious on the side of the road on this like, on this out of the way road. I'm just like, yeah, that's okay, sure. And then Commissioner Gordon's like, really? Like, you can't just blindfold me, really?
Batman shows up on the roof of the Chessman building right as Riddler is tossing Robin off the building while filming it. Batman tosses Robin the bat rope and he catches it in his teeth. Batman pulls him up to safety. Er, Batman pulls him safely up to the rooftop. Riddler escapes in a helicopter, and Batman wishes they had the Batcopter to chase after him. So we get the first mention of the Batcopter
We
here,
do. We do.
and I
Yep.
was I was disappointed we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, yeah, they don't have the budget for it yet. Not yet. So that'll come. But yeah, the whole like I did like the interplay between Robin and Riddler saying, with Robin saying that, if you kill me, it's not you won't profit by it. Like, why are you doing this? And the Riddler's like, first of all, the Riddler's like, I don't care. I'm just getting off on it. And second of all, he's just kind of like, I'm going to get $1 million for this. And so yeah, he is looking at a payday but we don't understand at this point why he's going to get a payday, which I find is pretty interesting. So that's and so I like that interplay. the Robin, catching the the uh, the batarang in his mouth. I mean, it's ridiculous. I did read somewhere where some people feel like the show kind of got really silly, like, around this time, and that it kind of always will remain kind of a parody of itself. I think that remains to be seen, because I know in my head that we have some really good episodes coming in the next couple seasons. So I don't think I don't think this is, as much as it's kind of ridiculous at this point. I don't, sometimes I do think they cross the line a little bit, but I think there's that danger when you're producing a show that's camp, when you're producing a show that's kind of fun like this. At times you're not going to know where that line is and how far over you've crossed it. So I give them a lot of leeway in terms of sometimes they go over it, and sometimes it doesn't work for me, and I just am like, okay, whatever. But it's still, I still give them a lot of credit, and I give the people who are making it a lot of credit for making it work, because it still looked pretty good. I mean, it looked like Robin was just being, hoisted by his teeth. And it's what does Batman say? You owe your life to dental hygiene.
Yep, he sure does.
So, you know, and so you get a little message in there too. So excellently well done.
All right, I gotta find where I was at. Riddler
Oh,
leaves
oh,
an
oh, wait. Sorry. I do want to, there's something else we forgot to mention too. When, uh, when, and yeah, this is a big deal, I think. So when Commissioner Gordon and Pauline are in the Batcave, Pauline is like, she wakes up and she's like, "Where am I?" And Batman is like, they're trying to spook her a little bit. So Batman says, "Deep in the entrails of the earth, Pauline, where every instrument has been designed to combat crime and snare its perpetrators." He says it's like a sort of, as only Adam West can deliver it. And then Commissioner Gordon drops this bomb. He says, "There are those who came to this Bat Cave and never left."
Oh
And
yeah,
we
that's right.
know that that's true. Like,
Hmm.
we know that another woman came to the Batcave, and and that was the last thing she ever did. Like, so I don't know if Commissioner Gordon is like trying to say, like, yeah, this is a place where people don't come back, girl. Um, or if he's just trying to spook her. But man, that kind of rung true. I was like, wow, we got this reference to the very, second episode of the series, a callback there, which I thought was pretty spooky, actually. That they reference that again, because it's like, hey, remember when we killed somebody? Oh, we could do it again. So tell us what we want to know.
Riddler leaves. Let's see. Yeah, Riddler leaves another riddle. Riddler leaves another riddle in smoke. What kind of machine has ears? Answer: a train has engine ears.
Robin gets that fast.
Yep. Riddler
What,
leaves a
what does he
second
say?
clue.
What does Robin say? Like, even an elementary, like, kid could get this one. Like, he's like ragging on him now. Like, this is really easy.
Riddler leaves a second clue. Why does a cowboy wear a tight belt? To hold up his pants.
Just like anybody else.
Robin figures out that the Riddler plans to rob the El Chief, a famous train in which all the movie people used to take. While the police force stake out Gotham Grand Central Station, Riddler is across town at Mr. Van Jones' mansion. Mr. Van Jones has agreed to pay Riddler $100,000 for the first silent film of Batman and Robin. Riddler double crosses Mr. Van Jones, stealing all the silent movies to ransom them back to him.
I think
Batman and
uh I think this plot line, this reveal that Riddler's been working for Van Jones the entire time is one of like the best reveals that we've had all season. I think that just and that's in the comic. That's actually in the comic book. It's revealed like right away, like in the first few lines, like that this producer wants to make silent movies, so he's hired a filmmaker to do that for him. Now he doesn't know that the filmmaker that he hires is secretly the Joker in disguise, but we find out right away then the comic story that I think he's called Van in the comic story. So here Van Jones is actually the guy behind the whole like behind everything. And I thought that was really kind of cool because we don't usually get like on this show, you don't usually get like reveals, like that, like twists
right.
and stuff like that. It's just pretty much like these are the bad guys, and you just have to beat them up until they give up, like so I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty cool reveal. Now, Van Jones is an idiot for thinking, hey, I'm just gonna pop open my safe while the Riddler's here and trust that he's, going to be okay with like he's not going to do anything with that. Like, yeah, that was dumb. But
Yeah, that was dumb.
so he's not exactly a master criminal, but I did like the fact that he was kind of the guy behind the scenes here.
Now, I want to go back to the first part, the previous episode, the first part of this, because we have Mr. Van Jones at the silent film when Riddler comes in and robs that place in the first place, kind of doing his silent film thing there.
Yeah, and he's acting all upset. Like I can't
Yeah,
believe that but I think it was just an act.
yeah.
I think it was just
I
an act. So I think that I really and I like the fact that that was we were all kind of fooled by that. Like I thought that was really clever. That they performed it that way so that it was kind of a mystery. So by the way, the actor who played Van Jones, Francis Bushman, was actually a star in the silent era, and this was the last thing he did. And a few months after this aired, I think he passed away. So this is the last appearance that he does. But he was in a star of many silent films, as we mentioned last week, Neil Hamilton, who plays Commissioner Gordon. He was also in a lot of silent movies as well. So I don't know if they ever got the chance to chat with each other or if they worked together. That I don't know, but. Yeah, that was I thought Bushman as Van Jones was pretty cool. Like I said, it was pretty dumb though opening that safe in front of the river.
yeah. Batman and Robin were not fooled and show up to stop the Riddler. A fight ensues and Riddler and his gang lose. Batman tells Riddler he's about to star in his own film called Up the River. Back at Wayne Manor,
Mhm.
Aunt Harriet gets to meet Batman and Robin on her birthday. They both give her a kiss on the cheek. Next week, the penguin waddles again.
Waddles again. So this is the fourth story featuring the Riddler. Where do you think this ranks?
You're gonna make me think, aren't you? I'm trying to think back.
Where do you I mean, are you pretty satisfied with this one, or is it up to the red? I mean, because this was I think we talked about this a little bit in the first part, but now that it's over, so this was originally written as a Joker story. But I think I can see anyway how Frank Gorswin was probably a better actor to pull a lot of these things off, like the doing the tramp and then like and some of that stuff then Cesar Romero might have been in that same capacity. So I think it's better suited as a teleplay for the Riddler. um I I it is interesting how the Riddler seems to have different goals every time. This is his fourth time, and he's doing something different every completely different. He doesn't have the same goal over and over and over again. But despite the fact that this was written as a Joker story, I do feel like the teleplay, they put enough riddles in here. I mean, you mentioned like I think there was
Yeah.
six in this one, right? Like there's six
Yeah.
riddles at least in this half hour alone. Not even talking about last half hour.
It was
So
riddled with riddles.
nice. Well done. Well done. I appreciate the pun. So
Well, I have
so
to agree
yeah.
with you though. It had lots of riddles in it. A lot more it seemed like than other episodes we've had.
Hmm. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot that happens. Um and you know, I think some of the individual moments are pretty nice. Um I don't, you know, I don't know if that I it might not be my favorite of the Riddler stories, but I think Gorswin is still really good in it. I think it's a pretty solid outing. There was some things that I thought were kind of silly. But I certainly I'm not, you know, sort of looking at it going, man, this show is really starting to, you know, we're 30 some episodes in, and I think it's starting to, you know, wear out its welcome. I don't feel that at all.
I don't feel that at all either.
Well,
So
that's yeah, good. Good, because we've got another season, 2 seasons to go, man. So that would be kind of rough. I'm sorry to hear that Frank Gorsman's not going to be back again until season 3. That crushes me because he's so good.
that surprises me.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering how season because we got about as many episodes in season two, I believe, as
I
this
do.
one. So are we gonna feel the absence of the Riddler? I mean, he's had a big presence here in the first season. So
He has.
I'm
What
curious to see how
he's
that plays out.
he's been in 8 episodes. So, I mean, out of you know, 30 some episode, you know, he's been in like almost a third of of the season. So, big presence. And yeah, with him not being there in season 2, it's going to be really interesting. Now, I do know that we've got a lot of bad guys to come, like a lot of introductions of characters that from the comics that we haven't seen, and we have a lot of new uh, creations just for the show that we're going to see in the upcoming couple seasons. And as if to balance it out a little bit, we're going to get a lot more Catwoman because we only had one story with Catwoman this season.
Right.
So that's going to I'm guessing that in the balance of things that those stories that would have gone to the Riddler, which like I said, I think we're getting a Riddler two-parter, but it's just not going to be Frank Gorswin. I keep saying Gershwin. Gorson. Uh, um, it's not gonna be Frank. But and that's gonna be weird. So that'll be interesting to see how that is when we watch it. But I think we're gonna get, you know, instead of where we would have gotten this many Riddler episodes, we're gonna get Catwoman episodes. And more Catwoman, fine with me. Especially since I
Uh,
know some of the ones that are coming up, I remember, and I'm like, okay, those are good. So I can't wait.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode. Do you have a shout out, Mike?
I do, I do. And because this is the last time we're going to see Frank Gorshin for a while, I did want to talk a little bit about how I believe that you know, we see him, especially in this storyline, we see him mimic a lot of the great performers. His imitation, if you will, his impersonation, if you will, of Charlie Chaplin in the first part of this is just really great. And even, you know, him dressed up with the mustache and and it being either the twirling bad guy that that shows Batman the whip, or as the cowboy that we see at the end of this. I mean, I think he's just really great. He, you know, he loves to dress up and sort of play other characters. But I do think that one of the inspirations for him in playing the Riddler was Richard Widmark. Richard Widmark is an actor that some regard that got his start, I think, in the 40s, and especially with, I think it was his first role, his first big movie role was a film noir from the 40s called Kiss of Death. And Kiss of Death, Richard Widmark plays a maniac of a murderous bad guy with an evil laugh. He's cruel, he's maniacal, he's crazy. And so I could see a lot of that in Frank Gorshin's performance as the Riddler. So I wanted to give out certainly a shout out to Kiss of Death. So if you haven't seen Kiss of Death, you'll think of the Riddler. I think there's a similarity in their looks. Richard Widmark and Frank Ocean kind of look similar, but also I think you'll see a bit of the Joker in his performance as well. In Richard Widmark's performance as Johnny Udo in Kiss of Death. But so Kiss of Death, I recommend that one. But I also, if you haven't got enough of Richard Widmark, he made so many great movies. But my favorite, especially if we're talking about film noir, my favorite is Night and the City. So this is available on Criterion. It's a beautiful edition. It's got wonderful bonus stuff. It's my favorite. It's my favorite noir. It's my favorite film noir movie, and it's my favorite Richard Widmark movie. So he doesn't really play a character like the Riddler in this. He plays a very different character, but I have to give this a shout out. If we're giving Richard Widmark a shout out for being the inspiration of the Riddler, then yeah, then I have to say watch Kiss of Death and Night and the City. If I had a copy of Kiss of Death, I'd hold that one up too. So so that's my shout out for the week.
All right. And for my shout out, I'm going to shout out about the BatChums t-shirt,
Woohoo!
which we have available in the T Public store.
We do. That looks great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what so you got the t-shirt because I know it comes in different styles of shirts and also different colors. Now is that I can't really tell from the video. Is that a gray?
I got black, but
Okay, so that's black.
yeah, it's black, but it does look kind of gray. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say
but
like this is black.
yeah, I chose a black color, but it wasn't as black as I thought it was going to be.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I think I still the logo pops out on it. It looks really good, I thought.
It's a great logo. Peter Cutler did an amazing job designing that, and we can't thank him enough for that. And yeah, we have it available on our T Public store. So check that out. And working with T Public has been great to, as far as, uploading designs and everything like that. As far as being a customer, when you place the order, I take it no issues and it arrived pretty quickly.
Yeah, it didn't take that long, probably about a week or so.
And they always have sales. Almost every other week, it seems like T Public is having a great sale with 30, 25%, 30, sometimes up to 50% off. So, especially around the holidays. So, in our social media, when they do a big sale like that, we'll try to let you know so that you can take advantage of it. But yeah, just keep looking at T Public and like I said, and pretty soon you won't have if you pay full price, we appreciate you if you pay full price. But if you want to wait for a sale, we understand. We understand. So, but you can get that logo on all sorts of things: t-shirts, tank tops, tote bags, mouse pads, like the whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, if you like the logo as much as we do, um, then you could have it on a bunch of stuff. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate and it's everything you buy helps us support all our costs for this podcast. So we really do appreciate it.
Yes, we do. If you'd like to comment on anything we've talked about tonight, you can reach us at our feedback line 317-455-8411. Leave us a message, text us, or you can email us at batchumspodcast@gmail.com. Sorry, folks, I forgot to let you guys know that. Now, are you ready to get out of here, Batchum?
Now I am ready to move out.
Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Don't worry, the worst is yet to come.
I don't know. I goofed up that ending. Can it get worse?
Oh, it can always get worse. It can always get worse, Drew.